and today I'm here with the one and only Adrian Hart. Today we're going to be picking apart and diving into Adrian's Heart. We're going to be discussing the album in detail.
I'm ready. It's been a long time coming, so let's go ahead dive into it.
Okay, so first we start off with the intro, fittingly self-titled Adrian's Heart. So I feel like it was like a very familiar song for you. It was reminiscent of the projects that came before it, and it kind of encapsulates the trilogy as a whole. Whenever you say the lyrics, I'm still a Gemini, alone at death in my heartland. And I feel like it's just a really good way to start off the album. It has momentum to get you really hyped and hyped. So what do you have to say about, like, when was this song created in the process of making the album?
That's yeah. So that first song, it went through a lot of different changes. The beats, the beat kind of, it picks up there at first with the heartbeat. It started off with a completely different beat after that. Like, it switched into something like not what I used. Eventually, that was in like February of 2024. And like one night, I was just in my room. I was just coming up with something, trying to find something to match the, like the momentum, like you said, for the heartbeat. What could come after that? And it took me a while. So the beginning of that whole song, it started in February, and I don't think it was really good until June, like a month before the album. Whenever I found the right beat for it, and then I started actually writing in June, so it was pretty late, just for that first song, like.
Just for the intro.
Yeah.
And while we're on the topic of that, when did you start thinking about and writing for this project?
Oh, I think right after Gemini. That was in November, and probably about right after in December, January.
Of 2023?
Yeah, December 2023, and then January, going to the new year, I released the FLEUR 24. That was always the plan, to have that be the first single and a starting point for the new year and like for the album rollout. So it was very early in January. I started coming up with like the album name. The cover was something that was last minute. I wanted it to be something completely different.
I still think it came out good.
Yeah. It could be better. I think I'm still gonna use the idea that I had. I'm still gonna.
You're reusing that, recycling it.
Yeah, because it's really good, and I think it'll match more of the next what's to come. So
at the beginning of Heartland, you mentioned several things are missing. Your bed. What does that mean to you?
So the meaning behind that, I was at a point where I think I wanted to start kind of cleaning up for a better, like how I present myself. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to be like messy, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to have a put together life. I didn't want to go down any wrong path, and I think by starting off with something simple as your room and cleaning that up, mm-hmm. and then going on to people that you know in the world and kind of blocking them out.
Like redefining yourself.
Yeah, redefining and just becoming someone better. So.
That's great. It's like, I'm glad we get to do this, because it's like I get to see, because it's like people only get to see like a surface level of the album. When they listen to it, they only have like their own perception of it. And being able to do this, we get to see what you were thinking whenever you made it.
I think that's one of my favorite starting tracks for something that I've done.
It kind of reminded me of Heartland
Yeah.
In a way, like whenever I had heard it, I was like, have I heard this before? And it's like I really like that because it's like it's a familiar sound to like transition into something that's about to be different.
Yeah.
So on to the next song, On Track / Fast. So this song, I feel like it's a vibe.
Right.
It's a really good song to vibe to. And it's like you take the momentum for the first song and you slow it down a bit, but it's not to the point to where it's boring. So what is On Track about?
On Track, it's mainly about this girl who runs on the track, like she does track for the school, and basically I kind of like got involved with her, and I don't know, I kind of felt like distracted by it, and I think, you know, there's always a girl that artists can go to.
Like as a muse.
Yeah, as a muse, and she was that for that song. But mainly it's just like I don't want to get deep into this. You know, I
gotta keep my heart on track.
Yeah, I gotta keep my heart on track, and I don't want to say like be better than you, but I gotta beat you to the finish line, and I gotta leave you in the past because I got things to do.
This is one of my favorites. I love like the whole like production of it. I like the whole. It feels like a song that it's like you can sing along with it. It's like gotta keep my heart.
It's catchy,
yeah. I love that. And then we get into the second part, Fast. So it's like these two go hand in hand, right? It's like you said, trying to keep your heart on track, but then you end up falling.
Yeah, so for a moment, there's just, because I like to, most of my songs, I haven't done too much of it, I want to go deeper into it, but most of my songs I want to make kind of like storytelling or like a movie, and I kind of want to bring that to my music. So there's moments where I could probably end up like falling, and you know, but I just have to get back up and focus. So.
And then also we have 2 other artists on this.
Is it 2?
Because there was someone doing, that wasn't you doing the...
It was me.
That was you?
The If I
Fall.
That is, yeah.
That's you?
That is me. I pitched down my voice. I made a little accent.
At first I thought it was you, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's me.
That's funny. So that's you and Laura.
Yeah, at the end.
So how did you pitch that to her?
I always had an idea for that song, because that song was also made like early on, February, March. I had that one kind of done, and I just felt like it was kind of empty. Like I needed something like, I wanted it to like surprise appearances. Like I like that. I like having like.
That's why there's no one in like the time.
Yeah, I kind of like having like a little surprise and like appearance that people would be like, oh, who's this? Who's this?
Yeah.
And so I showed her that, and I was like, hey, what can you do on this? And she was like, I don't know, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I'll write something for you.
Oh, so you wrote that part.
That's something I wrote for her, and she did it. I didn't like have like a specific flow for it. I just kind of wrote it and see what she would do, and she sent that back. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. That was perfect.
That was like the perfect way to end the song. It's like I love that transition, and then into that.
Yeah.
It's like that was like one of my favorite parts of like listening to the album.
I would go back to that because it's like it's magic. Like it just.
She killed it.
Yeah, she always does. She's good.
So next we have 365. So it starts with a sample.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks. He's cool. He's an inspiration.
And I feel like what he says fits perfectly into what the song is about. Your family is your team.
Yeah, of course.
So this is the song that you talked we talked about before, whenever I had mentioned Cure for Time, a song that I was writing for PRIISM, you had said, oh, I kind of wrote something similar to that.
Right.
This was that song. It's like, it was cool for you not to tell me what song it was and for me to listen to it and then realize, put the connection together that this was that song. And it's like, I feel like this is a really good song. It's like you dive deeper into the emotional side of yourself and you kind of write about something that people your age start to feel like the existentialness of life.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not shy to share feelings or anything. And I'll confront it, emotions and everything, and I'll express, whatever's on my mind in any way I can. And songs are most likely going to be that. And, I love to share, like, what's going on and how I feel about everybody and everything. So.
And I feel like both you and KOOLIX, your delivery on this song fit perfectly. Like it was, y'all were able to encapsulate emotion really well on this song. And I feel like that can especially be heard in the background vocals. Like I was really surprised by both of y'all's abilities on this song. And then also on this song, you already start making references to ocean. You said singing on the ocean.
Yeah.
So what was the connection between this song and ocean?
So it's actually 3 songs that kind of connect with that.
For the kids too?
It's SWIMMM.
Swim?
So it's kind of, SWIMMM is more like a swimming pool kind of thing, but also it could be in the ocean. It's more like drowning.
Because those two also.
Yeah. So once we get to swim, I guess I can talk about it as well.
Okay.
The same thing, but yeah. So it all kind of connects with the drowning aspect.
So is that also like why the song is called 365? Because they also happen to line up. Did you know that?
No,
Did you notice that?
I didn't even realize that.
Because 365 is the 3rd track.
And then
Ocean is the 6th and the 5th is Swim. You didn't even realize that? That was like unintentional genius.
wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I had realized that yesterday. I was like, wait, do the numbers mean something?
No, 365 is just about a whole year. How quickly you can grow. I think kids also does tie into that. How things change in a year. How someone can, like me, myself, can grow as a person, as an artist.
It's pretty surprising how it's like you can look back a year ago and it's crazy how much you've changed or
It is, yeah.
just how the things around you have. So then next we have, I feel like it's like one of like the best songs on the album, objectively, Heartbreak Kid featuring Luna Saga. So where did the down, where'd that come from?
That's just a sample that I had found. I threw it in there. Yeah. So it happens at the end of 365 and it transitions.
I feel like that was like the perfect transition because it's like even if you're just listening to 365 by itself, it's like the cutoff is like perfect. So Heartbreak Kid referencing Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
So what does Sweet Chin music mean to you in the context of the song?
Just kind of like what Shawn Michaels does, he kicks people in the chin. I like how that I can put that into my music and make it like, okay, sometimes you get a hard hitting kind of song, or it can be sweet, put you to sleep.
So in the song you talk about finding.
Yeah. So yeah.
Was this about someone in particular?
No, not really.
This one was just another vibe?
Yeah, just one of those vibes, and then I think on the beat switch.
Yeah, we get a transition to a more rock sound.
Which is where Luna Saga comes from. That's the rock star.
So how did y'all two come together for the song?
He actually came to the studio, and we were trying to find because I always had a beat switch in mind for that, and we were trying to find something that would go, because I wanted a rock kind of thing at the end of it, and we were in here for like a while trying to find something.
So did you follow his lead?
On that, yeah, I was like, okay, I want to see what you do, and then I'll just hop off of that, and it was done like in like 3 hours. So pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think what we got was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that was like the perfect ending to the song. It was really good momentum. It's like, I love a song that's able to be long, but that's not boring.
Right.
That keeps you engaged.
Yeah, it doesn't get old.
Because I think this is like one of the longest songs on the album.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
But it keeps you engaged the whole time. It's not something that you want to skip or you're like, turn the song. Also, at the end of the song, we start getting like ocean sounds, like seaside, like
yeah.
And then it transitions perfectly into SWIMMM, which is the 3rd single from the album.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Song of the Summer.
Yeah.
I gotta say now, it's like, whenever I first heard it, I was like, ooh! It's like a different sound for you, but it somehow still fits into the album.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how it goes from that Heartbreak Kid, like the rock thing, and then just, but it's good. I think it fits perfectly. And then again, like the summer vibes, I kind of want to bring more of that. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna be back summer 2025 with SWIMMM. I need a video for it too. So.
Yeah. So is it true that you're not able to swim?
Yeah, I don't know how to swim.
So how did that go into like the writing of the song? Because it's like, it's about, like you say in the song, that you're not able to swim, but it's also a double entendre.
Right.
So then we transition from SWIMMM into the ocean, and so we go into the ocean, and one thing I absolutely love is I always love a good like underwater kind of sound.
Yeah.
And it's like, this song isn't just called the ocean because you just wanted it to be. It has that ambiance of being underwater, and I absolutely love that. But instead of being under the ocean, you say that you're standing on it.
Standing in the ocean.
Standing in the ocean.
So now we're kind of like, there's a picture I posted. I kind of made it like out of AI, where it's just this guy. He's kind of like levitating in the ocean, and that again, that's kind of back to like my storytelling, kind of visual, kind of bringing it to visual now, because like I want people to imagine floating on the ocean now. You're not drowning anymore. You're kind of going above and getting out of like a hole in your life and everything. So that's the ocean.
And also in this song, you give us like a unique vocal. You're like, trying to get to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just think about it, it just kind of sounds, it's kind of goofy, but it's like it fits perfectly. Like you executed it really well.
Yeah.
So what made you want to do what inspired you to do something different with the vocals on this one?
Whenever I was coming up with that, I was kind of singing it, like that whole part. I like, standing in the ocean, trying to get. I kind of went through different ranges. And I don't know, I did the squeaky thing, kind of. I mean, I take inspiration from like an artist like Baby King, or, kind of like rappers that do kind of like that voice, and I just did it.
It suited you really well.
And I thought it was funny at first, and I did it, and then I was like, okay, this sounds cool. I mean, I think it fits kind of perfect, so let's stick with it.
And then also going back to the picture of levitating at the end, you have a sample of a woman saying, next year, or is it next year? I'm going to teach you how to levitate for real.
Yeah, it's just a random video.
And that was the thing I liked about this song too, was like the random samples in between.
Yeah.
It's like, they're odd, but it's like charming. It's like they still fit into the song. They make it what it is.
Yeah.
And then we go into Billy, Ego. And I feel like this is a really big win on the album.
Yeah.
It starts with the ooh. And then you have another artist on here with you. And at first I was like, is this a sample? Because it sounded like so like professional.
Right.
Like, their delivery on it is so like clean and perfect, and it's like the enunciation of the words, and then it's like there's like a perfect like contradiction between you said I find that you need me, and so it's kind of like a conversation is going on between the two of you.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, and it's with Billy, so that's like an alter ego kind of thing. Not a great guy, but again, that's just, you know, bringing a visual,
more storytelling.
Like, storytelling and everything. Because I wanted to, and I still do want to make like a short film out of this whole album, and that's one of the big songs right there for it. And there's also an extended version of that song.
Oh, really?
That I want to use for it, and nobody's heard it, but except for me and her.
Okay, we're excited for that. So also Casey Whitney's part, did she write her own part?
Yeah.
So she saw what you wrote.
Well, it was kind of together. I was like, okay, so we need like kind of an argument thing, but also kind of like we're hurt or she's hurt, and we want to, it's like a conversation, you know? Like,
I think that's really good because it shows how someone, instead of you writing it for her, it shows how someone else would respond to it.
So, exactly. I wanted to get kind of like a perspective of what she would say, and then what I would say, and kind of it meshed perfectly.
It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And then at the end, we have a reference to the next track where this is you.
Yeah.
You say, I don't think I'll make the trip, but I do miss you. Will I see you again? And then we transition into the second single of the album, Will I See You Again? So this one was also a different sound for you, but it once again still fits into the grand scheme of the album. So what made you want to do something that sounded like that?
I think it was in March when I came up with it. I was just in my room with KOOLIX. We were trying to make something come together with some type of song for the album, and I wanted her on it. And so I was kind of looking for something that would fit her sound, because I want her to like kind of be a star on it, kind of outshine you, because I like people doing that.
That's what I was gonna say too. On the song, she really does shine a lot.
Yeah.
It's like she feels like the icing on the cake. This one was one that I feel like I could really visualize what's happening. Like, I imagine the two of y'all like in a car on like a desert road, driving through, singing it. I don't know what to say other than like she ate. Like this was like there's something else we have to talk about too. This song kind of blew up a little on Spotify.
Yeah.
Whenever I had seen it, it had over 17,000 streams. So also the song had, before it came out, it had its own like single cover. What inspired you? What inspired you to do that?
It was just random.
It
could have been a better cover.
So then we go to Kids, the interlude. And this one, I feel like, because usually I don't, like I can enjoy sad songs, but I prefer not to listen to them because I don't like being sad. This one, so I kind of feel like I prefer this one over 365 because it's like, it's not too sad. And then also the production kind of feels reminiscent to like 2016, 2017 without sounding like outdated.
Right.
So, and I really love that. And then also throughout the song there's clips of like your life.
Yeah. You know, that song, it's self-explanatory. Growing up, a lot of things changing in your life. Especially as me being the youngest and seeing a lot of different growth in my family and around me and from what I'm used to, and becoming my own like person and man.
So you say we were all once kids, so innocent, and we're all still kids, innocent.
In a sense, because everybody still has
that child,
yeah, that inner child. Yeah, everybody has inner child in them. You know, I wanna be in a position to obviously buy my parents a house, which we've never been able to do, and something like what they've always wanted is kind of like in their own land, probably like no neighbors or anything like that. But just to take care of my family that's important. That's something.
And you also, when you were writing this song, did you ever get emotional at any point, like, or like, let me just say, like, at any point in the album, did you ever cry?
I think, yeah, maybe, because I've heard it so many times now. But in the beginning, there's definitely like you tap into your deepest, feelings and emotions and pour them out. So yeah, I think during this song too, maybe a little tear.
A little tear. And then at the end we have a guest.
Yeah.
Jasmine, and she served us Moonlight on the Water.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get her on the song?
Jasmine, that's someone I knew from school. I just asked her because I knew she liked music. She did music. She doesn't make her own music, but I was like, hey, you know me. If you want to do this, I have something for you. Like, because she sings for choir, and I know she has different like range, and she can be on something like this. So it was kind of perfect. And she wrote that.
Oh, she did? I think it was I really love that part at the end, how it's like, it's her singing, and then in the background you can hear you and your siblings playing and laughing. It's like a really beautiful ending. And then I like how it has like a little bit like, just like a tad bit of spookiness when she's like,
yeah, kind of.
And then it eerie. And then we go from something that's like really like emotional and sentimental to July Sun. Like you pick it back up.
Get crazy, start jumping.
You pick it back up right after that.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorites from the album sonically. I love every aspect of the sound. The instrumental is really good. And then all three of y'all's flows on there was immaculate.
Yeah, that's a good word.
So I also know that there's another version of this song that's only you and Babygrey.
Yeah.
So how did the conception of this song come about?
Well, yeah, it started with me and Babygrey. So it was really originally just us. The beat I found on YouTube, and I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Wow, that's a YouTube beat?
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's good. I showed it to Blank, and he was like, yeah, I need this. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know he had said, he was like, he needs to find more beats like that.
Yeah.
And he absolutely killed it. I think he has my favorite verse on there.
Yeah.
And then I loved like the 20 seconds at the end where it's just like the instrumental.
Just vibe to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. But the other version where he's not on it, I didn't, like, that's just Babygrey's decision. It's just us two. No, Blank thinks they have beef, but I don't know about anything about that. I don't know. Maybe there's sneak disses he has somewhere in future projects.
In the future. So then we move into Court, which is a song featuring our group PRIISM. It feels weird asking you about a song that I'm a part of. But I think I'll take this time to say the one thing that this album does really well is the order of songs. You did a really good job at picking what song goes where, which is something that even like artists who are like way bigger tend to have a problem with. There's albums that you would listen to and you're like,
it's like
it doesn't really flow.
Yeah.
Right, but every song on this album, it feels very coherent.
Yeah, so every song, I wanted that to be, you know, how it was, like, just perfectly, like, kind of bleeds into each other, or, you know, just go down the list and there's nothing wrong. The first track, though, like I said, that was last minute, kind of, so I still wanted something that would match, and everything after that would be, you know.
So, did you have everything written and picked out and then do the order, or did you have like some, like, you knew this song was gonna go?
So the first 8 tracks before Kids, that was all. I already had that planned because that's the first side. There's 2 sides, side A and then side B. So that whole side was done. I already had the order. I had how it was gonna go. Obviously, like 365 and Heartbreak Kid transitioning to each other, and then SWIMMM, and then the ocean, and everything like that.
So was there any songs that made it really close to being on the album that got cut?
Yeah, there's like a couple songs. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna release them, but there's some on there.
So what was the reason for them not making the cut?
Just, I think there's better songs on there, on the official thing than what I have. And plus I didn't want to make it too
lengthy.
Yeah, so.
One thing that I was really surprised by was how I managed to pick a beat that somehow fit perfectly onto the album. Like, I was really happy with the transition from July Sun to Court, and then from Court to LaFleur.
Yeah, it's perfect. 3 tracks, like.
Yeah, you picked like the perfect placement for that. How do you feel about the song?
I think it's great. I think everybody did great on it. PRIISM has so much potential, but I think once we start being more consistent with it, and, you know, actually put time into it, then we can make like even greater. So everything's there. The seeds are planted now.
And that's one thing I do want to say. It's like there's so much that goes into like a group. It's like I feel like that's the reason why groups usually fail, because it's like there's so many people and they have to move like together.
Yeah.
And but whenever things do come together, there's like a certain magic to it. Like, to see something that I mostly wrote come to life through the 3 of y'all, it was like really freaking cool.
That's a feeling that I bet is like awesome to see.
Especially because this was like the first song that I kind of put out. It's like on your album, but
and it's out there now. So.
And seeing people enjoy it really motivated me, especially after what had happened. It motivated me to want to keep going and put out more stuff. We transitioned from Court to LaFleur, where you start with Your Iridescent standing on top of the prism.
Yeah.
This is the first single that you put out, like you said earlier.
January. Yeah.
And I feel like listening to it, it's like you picked out the perfect singles for the album. The 3 that you did pick, they were all like the really hype ones. Yeah. And it's like, even though they are hype, they don't outshine the rest of the album. They fit perfectly in there. Was LaFleur the start of Adrian's Hart?
Yeah, I kind of... Gemini was really what I wanted to make an album, but I didn't have enough. I didn't want to make too much music or put out too much in 2023. And I felt like, okay, let's make something simple, kind of like a mixtape style. You know how Gemini kind of has like the cassette tape kind of sound, and radio, something like that is like, you know,
different than the album. Album's gonna be grander and sound different. And obviously, I bring that with storytelling.
And I feel like that storytelling kind of started in Gemini.
Yeah.
We started getting more artistry from you.
Yeah, I wanted to start bringing more kind of like context and you know, deeper meaning to it.
And that's one thing about the album. It's like, it's not generic and it doesn't try to follow in the trend.
Yeah.
It's like you're in your own lane and you have like your own sound.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be anything that it's not.
That's right. I mean, yeah, that's true, because I do want, and I did like make sure to bring my own sound and everything together. And I do have a lot of inspiration from different artists and music, but it all comes together to my own thing.
To make something.
There's a music video for it, and you were there.
Yeah, we were there. Stood on the table.
Yeah. Stage dive. Yeah, that was it.
So next is a fan favorite, No One Is Around, featuring CARON LACEY. So I feel like this track kind of like encapsulates the power of like indie artists.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of like a theme throughout the album. You finding people that you know, or reaching out to people and bringing them onto your project to make something great. So how did this play out?
I obviously from the start wanted him to be on the album. I didn't really have a song. There was different songs like The Ocean could have been one that he would have been on. Like I had thrown that one out there. And then this one came late in like April. And I showed him that one. I sent it to him. There's a lot of different versions that he went through on it. So we can go like to old, like the first versions he did it, and it's completely different from what we have. It's still good, but yeah, I let him do his thing, and he stole the show. For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
You two complemented each other really well. I feel like that's something you did a good job of, is finding people who complement you. And it's like, it's just, this song is really hard to explain. It's like more than a vibe. It feels like it's an experience. It feels like you're like floating, you're ascending. And CARON LACEY did a really, really good job.
He will be back. I told him that already. We've talked about it. I've showed him all the love and support he got from this, and how many people were like asking like, who's this? Who's that? You know? And he was just overwhelmed by it, but he was like, wow. He makes his own music. It doesn't have anything officially released. It's all on SoundCloud. But he will definitely be back on a future project. And yeah, he's gonna.
It's great to see people getting the spotlight.
Yeah, yeah, and he will be a star for sure.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then we move on to one of my favorite tracks, I'm Not Cupid, Stupid. This song kind of has like a SZA type beat to it.
SZA, yeah.
So this song, like I said, it has this very like SZA type beat. It's like acoustic. But and it's like, I usually don't like acoustic stuff, but it's like I really liked this song and this beat, and then your vocals on it too. It's like you've improved so much in like such little time, because I remember I was listening to, whenever we had first listened to Heartland, I was listening to it with Bliss. And then she was saying, she's like, if he took some vocal classes, he could be it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dang, because it's like it's hard to believe it's like someone I know made this album.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's such a great album. And it's just like, it's crazy to see how you've improved. It's like from Heartland to Gemini The jump from those two to each other to Gemini to this.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it could be so much bigger if you were given the resources.
Right.
And I better hear, whenever you do make it, I better hear a remaster of this album. And then also at the end of this song, we get a message from someone, a happy birthday message.
It's one of my best friends. It's crazy because she's the cover of Gemini. Like that's her. That's her smile, her teeth, and everything. And I barely had met her in September of 2023, and we've grown to become like almost like family with each other. She was at my party where I did the music video. Yeah, I mean she's great. She's an inspiration for me, and like vice versa. We have so much visions and plans for each other in the future, and we encourage each other in everything we do. And yeah, well, she'll be back in some way for everything that I do, whether it's, you know, my music or cover, or like I want to do like a fashion thing or like a merch line, and she'll probably model for that. So yeah.
That's great for you to have someone like that. Throughout your album, and this started with SWIMMM, I believe, you have a tagline that goes Adrian Hart.
Oh yeah.
So how did that come about?
That started in December. So this girl I knew, I still know her. I knew.
I knew her.
I'm still cool with her.
But I knew her and I'm using her voice still.
Yeah, no, I know her. We're still cool. I just asked her to be a part of a song that's not even out. Like it was originally like a whole thing. Like she says more than just that, and it's for a song that probably never will see the light of day. I mean, not for like a bad reason, just I don't have anywhere to put it. But yeah, so I just thought, okay, I put it in the song that I was originally gonna release, and I was like, let me just shorten this Adrian Hart tagline. And I don't think I used it on the FLEUR. I don't think I did.
No, I think SWIMMM was the first one that it appeared on.
Yeah,
and
so
then it
I wanted
appears
it
throughout
the album. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is the tag. This is it. So, and she knows it. She's like, wow, like, you know.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it suits it.
I never thought I'd like have a tag.
So then we move from I'm Not Cupid Stupid to Composure featuring XAVIER. This was a big one for the album. This is also another fan favorite.
Yeah, I believe this is the one that most people from this album that most people will
gravitate.
Yeah, and listen to the most. Even though there's so many great tracks, this is probably that one that's a hit. And thanks to XAVIER, he's a hit maker.
I remember listening to it for the first time, and it made me tear up.
My mom as well. She gets a shout out from XAVIER, my brother. And yeah, I showed her that song in the car before the album was ever out, and she was like, cheering up and everything.
He really got into it.
Yeah, he did. I let him do his thing. He came over to the studio, and I was like, okay, this is it. So I sent him that a long time ago, actually, in like April or March. I sent him that beat. I'd already done my thing on it, and I just let him do the rest, and he stole it. He stole it.
And it's truly a pleasure to get XAVIER on something with how much he has.
Yeah. And it's rare for him to show up on anything, because if you look back, he's not on Gemini. He's not on Alone at Dusk. I don't think he's on Heartland either. He's on any of those mixtapes. So, but
he's in PRIISM, but we haven't got him on anything yet.
Right. But I needed him on the album because I wanted to showcase everything, everybody.
And that was like, I feel like going from I'm Not Cupid Stupid to where it was like, kind of like, the vibes are going down. It picks you back up, and it's like, it feels kind of like inspirational.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is...
And it's like we're coming closer towards the end of the album, but it's like you're gonna leave with something.
Right.
So then we transition to Thank God, which it starts off feeling like it's gonna be a side ending to the album.
That's funny.
So you start off by begging. You say, "Don't make it harder for me." You're begging on your knees, trying to go to sleep. So who are you speaking to here?
God. Yeah. This was like a whole thing for me. I've recently like tapped into my belief in religion and my faith. This one was more just like, you know, shout out to God, but also I know it's gonna be hard, and He's with me every step of the way. And I don't want it to be hard, but I know it will be. And I just have to accept it, and I have to accept Him, and I have to trust Him. So from now on, I'm always gonna just, you know, show my appreciation, my faith, and just believe.
That's great that you put a song on the album about God, because a lot of people would shy away from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even on your birthday, you wore that shirt.
Yeah.
You said.
But first, let me think about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You were teasing the album. You were teasing. And so we go through this whole part where it seems like this is going to be what the song is, and then you transition into like an almost like Pink Panthers-esque type of beat. And I know it's like whenever the beat changed, I was like, what? And even my friend Arie, she said the same thing. She really loves the second half of the song with you bring KOOLIX back again.
Yeah, to close it out. Yeah.
So what inspired you to not just like cut it off with the no?
Yeah. I feel like I wanted something grand to close out the album, not something so, not kind of upsetting, but kind of quiet. I didn't want to leave on a low note, I guess. Even though it's not really that low of a note, it's just kind of down tempo.
I know, it's like usually I don't like when stuff ends like that. It makes me feel sad, like the end of a movie or something.
Yeah. So I kind of want to just
run it back
up, bring the tempo up.
Okay, and then at the end we have a voice that comes in and says, "Stop the music."
Yeah.
And then you say, "I know I have so much to prove."
Mm-hmm. So much to gain. That's it.
So much to earn.
Oh, so much to earn.
Here I am.
Here I am.
And then, just like the beginning when we started off with the applause, we also end with the applause.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, making it a whole thing.
It comes full circle.
Mm-hmm. Full circle. That whole experience wrapped up, just how it kind of started.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's something you can listen to over and over again. And it's, what I love about it is how perfectly everything flows together. Like, it's not something where you care to skip a song in the middle. It's like, you want the whole thing.
I'm glad that it's easy to listen to for people and kind of experience like that, because that's how I wanted it. Like from beginning to end for each song. Nothing you can skip, nothing you shouldn't hear. I think it's all a part of it.
So how have you felt about the reception you received from this?
It's all been good. So definitely not anything bad at all. So I felt great. I felt like, even though I haven't done anything music-wise, like bigger than this recently, obviously, because this is the album. This is something I want to last until next time. I'm just happy and glad and appreciative of everything and everybody that worked on it, and everybody that listened and that gave feedback. And most people did. My friends, my closest friends, my family, of course. It's inspiring for me to keep going, you know, and motivating. And we're just gonna keep going and be better the next. So hope y'all are ready.
So what plans do you have for 2025?
Yeah, 2025. So surprisingly, I'm most likely not dropping anything for 2025. I kind of want. My plan is to just have music videos. So I really want to work on visuals for songs that I have that I wanted music videos for, but I just haven't had the chance. So definitely that. Maybe like 8 songs. So 8 music videos expected for 2025. We'll see when those are out. But music-wise, maybe nothing new, because I really want to work harder for another album in 2026. So better production, better writing, of course, just more like stuff to pull from.
Well, thank you for taking the time today to give us a deep dive into this album and let us know like what everything's about.
Yeah.
Giving us an introspective.
Right.
So this was Adrian Hart, the interview. Look out for PRIISM. Hopefully we'll put something out next year. And Adrian Hart's new single, Crazy.
Crazy with Blank. We have a music video as well that's out now. 2025 is kind of be more of a slower year musically and new stuff. So, but trust me, the music videos won't disappoint. I believe that we're gonna bring great stuff, great visuals. Alrighty guys, thank you all for watching. Leave a comment down below. What's your favorite song off the album? And I guess for 2025, what's a song y'all would like to see a music video for? Because I have some ideas, but I would like to know. Alrighty.
Keep an eye out and take care.